The next day Adam goes to his very boring job at a human resources firm, where he's showered with obsessive positivity and conflict avoidance. Whenever he can, he uses his work computer to ask about his sword on the internet. Eventually his boss catches him red-handed and scolds him for not doing his job. She threatens to fire him if he doesn't stop thinking about swords, but Adam ignores her because he's received a message from a guy saying he has his sword. Adam rushes to the address the guy gives him and finds a comic store. Inside, he discovers that his sword has become a prop for a statue. When he tries to retrieve it, the sword refuses to come out and the statue falls on top of him. A customer starts recording Adam as he struggles with the sword, and after lots of effort he finally manages to pull it out. Moments later, Teela's ship enters a subterranean base where all the survivors have been hiding. Triclops has followed them, so now the enemy knows about this location. Teela takes Adam to the heroic warriors, who don't believe that this random dude is the real prince. Adam shows them his business card, but the warriors just take the sword before putting Adam and Teela in a cell. There they find a sleeping drunkard and Roboto, a Class 4 robot who is supposed to have the power of 20 soldiers. At that moment, enemy ships attack the base. Teela hears screaming and keeps trying to bring down the door to no avail. Adam asks Roboto for help, and by just walking, it easily tears down the door. Before leaving, Teela wakes up the drunkard, who turns out to be Duncan. She throws water at his face and Duncan ends up puking on Adam's shoes. Since Duncan refuses to leave with them, Roboto carries him out. The group runs through the market while things keep exploding around them and Skeletor makes an entrance. When Ram Man is knocked down, he gives Adam the sword before he rejoins the fight. The team keeps dodging shots at every corner until they find a cave and Teela slides down with style, but the others follow them more clumsily. Then they hide behind some boxes and watch Trapjaw arrive with more troops. Duncan is scared of fighting him again, so Adam comes out and tries to start a peaceful dialogue like he does at work. Obviously Trapjaw isn't interested in negotiation and starts attacking Adam, cornering him against the edge of the bridge. Adam manages to dodge the attacks and tries to tackle Trapjaw, who easily throws him off. Afterward the group retrieves the sword and escapes in Teela's ship while Skeletor furiously watches. He yells at his men for their failure and sends them after the heroes. Soon the enemy fleet is chasing Teela's ship, which gets hit with a few laser shots. Teela flies high in the sky to have more room to maneuver, but the ship gets hit again and there's a hull breach. When an enemy ship attacks the cockpit with its giant saw, Teela sends Adam to the back, where he finds an air bike. It takes him a few moments to learn how to control it and almost crashes, but he manages to take off and make the enemy follow him. At the same time, Teela uses a wing to hit the soldier attacking the cockpit, which gets rid of it. Unfortunately the hull breach is too serious and the ship starts falling. Meanwhile Adam's bike also gets hit and he loses control of it again. He avoids falling off by holding on when it gets overturned and tries to get onto a tree to escape, but the bike keeps dragging him. With no other options, Adam throws the air bike at the soldiers to defeat them with an explosion before jumping off. He ends up landing on an enemy ship, so he breaks the window and throws the pilot out to take over the controls. Adam doesn't hesitate to start fighting them all at the same time, showing off his amazing powers. When he is disarmed, he uses a soldier as a weapon to hit all the others. There's a monster soldier with spines on its body that Adam also uses to attack. When he finally retrieves his sword, the enemies immediately surround him, but Adam rises with a shock wave to push them off. The fight continues and Adam handles every warrior no matter what kind of crazy ability they have. Goatman desperately attacks Adam with his axe and corners him on the bridge above the volcano, but Adam breaks his horns and punches him to throw him into the lava. Once all the warriors are down, Adam gets ready to attack Skeletor, but Evil Lyn uses her magic to freeze him. When Skeletor threatens to kill Rander, Adam's anger manages to break the spell and he shoots a bolt of energy that Skeletor dodges. The bolt hits the wall and the cave starts to crumble until the ceiling collapses on top of Rander. Adam immediately rushes to move all the debris and finds his father, who apologizes for not having been nicer when he was a child. Then Rander dies in his son's arms. Hussein checks on him and reminds him to pay rent before dying. Adam looks at his old drawings and finds one of the sorceress as all the papers start flying around him. Then the bird appears in his room and begins to talk, confirming it's the sorceress. She explains that the sword doesn't matter. The spell says I have the power because the sword has transferred the power to Adam himself. As his chest glows, the sorceress transforms and tells him that she chose him as the vessel because his compassion and humanity will make him a better hero. Then Adam wakes up in the real world and removes the sword from his chest. The power heals his injury and summons the rest of the pieces to complete the sword.